Okay, I will have this meeting to order with a moment of silence and pledge of allegiance. Please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have a roll call, Sue?
Mr. Mignon,
Here.
Mr. Francis, Mrs. Irwin Adams. Here. Mrs. McGinnis. Here. Mr. Cook.
Here.
Mr. McCauley.
Here.
Mr. Romanowitz.
Here.
Mr. Pacifico.
Here.
Mr. Pappas.
Here.
Thank you all.
Thanks. I would like to announce that prior to this meeting, we had an executive session where we discussed personnel issues, and we also had our Act 44 annual report, which was the safety report by Mr. Peffer. Before we go too far into this meeting, we'll go right to number 2 on our agenda, which is a discussion of the final general budget for 2025-2026 and annual tax resolution. Also is homestead farmstead exclusion resolution and a resolution to commit our unassigned fund balance. So administration recommends the board approve and adopt the 25-26 general fund budget and corresponding tax resolution as proposed, advertised, and as amended. The attached final general fund budget report is the PDE approved format and includes expenditures of $125,791,510 and revenues and other sources of funds in the amount of 124 million. There's a misprint. Is it 104 or we're missing a number on my agenda?
Expenditures of, expenditures $125,791,510. The revenue is $124,040,259.
Okay.
124,040,259.
Okay. I will start with asking for a motion to approve this budget. Would we like to have a discussion? Anybody?
This, just to clarify, this budget has a tax increase, correct?
This is the 3% tax increase.
All right, just curious. Thank you.
Any discussion? Will we do a roll call?
Mr. Mignon,
No.
Mr. Francis,
No.
Mrs. Irwin Adams.
No.
Mrs. McGinnis.
No.
Mr. Cook.
Yeah.
Mr. McCauley.
No.
Mr. Romanowitz.
Yeah.
Mr. Pacifico.
No.
Mr. Pappas.
No.
Motion fails.
Okay. I would like to make a motion for a budget that includes a tax increase of 0%. I have a second from Mr. Francis. Would we like to have any discussion? I would just say, just to reiterate what we discussed previously, last year, this board did vote for an increase. And in addition to the increase that was voted in favor of, the school district got an additional $3 million from the state that was not anticipated. And what is our fund balance right now, Sue?
Approximately 34 million.
So our fund balance is $34 million, and I don't think it would be irresponsible not to impose any taxes on the citizens here in Altoona in lieu of that amount of money in our fund balance. So for that reason, that's why I put forth the motion of not raising taxes this year. Would anybody else like to offer anything? Okay, seeing none. Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry.
going to say support your ideology 100%, Val. After what happened with the city raising taxes on us, we need to give them a break, at least for a year. I totally in agreement with you on this.
Thank you. Anybody else? So may we do a roll call?
Mr. Mignon,
Yes.
Mr. Francis, Mrs. Irwin Adams, Mrs. McGinnis. Yes. Mr. Cook, Mr. McCully,
Yes.
Mr. Romanowitz,
Yes.
Mr. Pacifico,
Yes.
Mr. Pappas.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. So now we move on to the next two resolutions. Can we take those together? Because they, okay. So B is, sorry why I moved my mouse. B is administration recommends approval of the 25-26 homestead and farm exclusion resolution. And C is just a simple resolution to approval of the resolution to commit unassigned fund balance in excess of 8%. Can I have a motion to approve those two items on the agenda? Do I have a second? Would anybody wish to discuss any of those?
Well, I just want to clarify, are we voting on the motion as it's written on the agenda, or are we voting on the motion with a 0% increase?
Since the major tax resolution included a 0% tax increase, the homestead farmstead would
Would
also
follow.
include zero.
Okay, I just want to clarify that we're not voting on it as it is on the agenda.
At a zero tax increase, the allowance per homesteaded approved property would be $256.88.
What's that, 258?
$256.88.
With no tax increase, right?
Correct.
And if there would have been a tax increase, would have been 181.22? Is that
If
correct?
there had been a tax increase, there would have been a minimal change of $256.71. Homestead farmstead. $256.71.
Am I reading something wrong on the homestead resolution on the,
It's on the back, it's on the second page. It's a confusing resolution. So the next to the last paragraph on the second page.
okay. All right.
Calls would just reflect the fact that we voted for 0%. Okay, so any further discussion on those two items, B and C?
Now, I know I ask this every year, so what percentage of the homes in Altoona are single dwelling homes? Yeah, not rentals, but what, do you happen to know that? Because it seems that there's a lot of single dwelling homes that are rentals now.
There's no way for me to know how many are owner occupied and how many aren't based on our
I
tax.
thought you
map.
had that number before.
The number of properties that are approved for homestead, farmstead are 12,126. And we have just
Not
over,
everybody's, but all I'm saying is that it seems that Altoona is becoming a rental city.
I believe that 60% home ownership and approximately 40%.
Is that a true figure, or is that just your opinion?
That's based on what I know.
Okay, so 60% of the homes are homestead approved. The other 40% are rentals. So,
Of the resident,
right, or residential, okay.
but not everybody takes advantage of this.
I realize that, right.
Anyone else? I don't know that this is a roll call necessary vote, so I will ask for all in favor to signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, we will move on to item 3 on the agenda, hearing from citizens. Do we have anybody who wishes to speak to us or address us? Oh, I didn't see Jason. Well, I didn't see it on the agenda.
Good evening, members of the board, administrative team, and citizens of Altoona. My name is Jason Hatch, and I'm a math teacher and future administrator in the Altoona Area School District. Tonight, I am honored to share a truly inspiring and transformational journey that our Altoona Area Junior High School students experienced from January through May, an opportunity that has shaped their educational path and quite possibly their futures. This year, our students proudly participated in the Impact Project, a national educational initiative aimed at exploring NASA's mission to sustain life on Moon and Mars. Beginning in January, our students came together as curious minds and emerged as informed, passionate collaborators. Nearly 80 students volunteered to participate and meet before, during, and after school to take on this challenge. Over the course of several months, these students organized themselves into functional teams and took ownership of the roles, conducted in-depth research into lunar and Martian environments, watched congressional hearings and NASA broadcasts on CNN to stay connected with real-world issues and developments. This real-life introduction to high finance budgets, political agendas, and alliances, and quote-unquote how the world works was an eye-opener to say the least for them. The students created and revised professional slide presentations while learning how to tell a compelling scientific story, utilizing skills that are applicable to all of their classes, as well as their ability to use public speaking to tell a story. They also engaged in the Quarterbacks for Life curriculum through the Beating the Odds Foundation, applying life lessons in resilience, leadership, and teamwork to the daunting challenge of long-term space habitation. Most impressively, they learned to work together with mutual respect and purpose to deliver a professional grade presentation on one of the most complex topics of our time, sustaining human life beyond Earth. Their hard work culminated in a once-in-a-lifetime visit to the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center, where they had an extraordinary privilege of doing the following. They toured the data command hub that tracks satellites, space stations, and even top secret aerospace innovations. They met with astronauts, aerospace engineers, scientists, and mission control specialists. Seeing presentations of planetary studies in high definition and high resolution that only professionals in the space community get to see. They watched in real time the construction and testing of the new space station set to be sent into orbit in fall of 2025. They then presented their findings on how the Quarterbacks for Life curriculum can relate to projects in life, from those they face as teenagers growing up in Altoona to successfully creating sustainable life on the moon and beyond. 45 students with very diverse interests, cultural backgrounds, academic successes, and socioeconomic backgrounds came together with groups from as far away as California to get on stage and present their findings, their successes, their failures, and what they learned. And they were able to firsthand see the global teamwork it takes to push humanity further into the cosmos, as well as a visit to dining in the Mecca of Golden Corral on the way home. I know that gets asked for a lot in this area. So I'm here tonight to thank a lot of people. None of this would have been possible without the incredible support of so many within our district community. To our Board of Education, thank you for continuing to invest in innovative and experiential learning opportunities. There are so many kids that have never been out of Altoona, and seeing the great opportunities our country has for them can only feed their dreams and desires for great things. To our central office and building level administrative teams, your leadership and logistical support were invaluable throughout the process, especially your guidance to myself, who had never planned a trip like this before, especially of this magnitude. A heartfelt thank you to Mr. Rocco Scalzi, four-time Super Bowl winner Mr. Rocky Blyer, and the Odds Foundation for their mentorship and guiding our students through the Quarterbacks for Life curriculum with integrity and purpose. It was nearly 35 years ago that I had the opportunity to be on stage with our superintendent when the Being the Odds was in its infancy, in front of thousands of students in the De Gaulle Arena at St. Francis University. And finally, a very special thank you to Ms. Paula Foreman, Altoona School District Foundation. Your generous funding of this experience created a lifelong memory for our students, one that will surely echo their future careers and aspirations. The students wanted to let you all know that we have emailed you all a YouTube link for the students' final presentation. The entire presentation is there with directions to go directly to our students' 10-minute presentation. And there's also a gallery of photos from the Goddard Space Center that highlight our visit. Thank you again for your continued belief in the limitless potential of our students. Their reach, quite literally, is now beyond the stars. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. I watched a little bit of the video. It was pretty impressive. What an experience for these kids. So thanks.
It only took them 4 trips to the greater Pittsburgh area to get a birth certificate and real ID in the course of 5 days, literally. So they would not accept anything other than a real ID. So we literally had to take 4 trips back and forth to Pittsburgh to get a replacement birth certificate and real ID. So thank you for your dedication.
Okay, now I think we could hear from citizens. Would you like to come on up? Please share your name with us.
Is this on? Yeah. My name's Mary Flick.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, I live at 1317 25th Avenue, right across from the old Keith ball field, which is why I am here. There are 4 issues that, well, I know Mr. Hatch is aware of one of them. There are kids bringing dirt bikes and mini bikes and riding around in there. For one thing, my front porch faces that, and it's very disturbing to hear that. Plus, I have pictures showing where they're destroying the field. Muddy tracks and tearing it up and down, which also leads to a liability issue. If they get hurt or hurt someone else, who's liable? Being that the school district owns the field, I would think it would be the school district's responsibility. I led a suggestion, put up simple signs, no unauthorized motorized vehicles. That would give us residents who live in the neighborhood the chance, some backup. If they're up there, call the police, tell them they're not allowed to come back up. The second issue I have with that is the upper field that you rent for the soccer team. Inform them to take their trash out because they have a garbage can there that's full. They have other trash laying around, oops, I'm sorry, laying around the garbage can. My suggestion was, well, first of all, my question is, who's responsible? According to their lease, do they take care of their own trash? Does whoever emptied the job, Johnny, take care of the trash? Or is it the school district's responsibility? And as far as the fields, whoever is mowing the grass, you're paying them too much. Because I have pictures here, they just cut it yesterday. If they can't get off their 0-turn mowers, they're not doing it. They're not cutting the fields with string trimmers. They're not trimming around the trees. And it's just, I have pictures, which you can pass them around. So I figure if they're doing 5/8 of the job, then they should only get paid 5/8 of their salary. And back on liability, when I bought that house 31 years ago, there used to be some exercise equipment up there, a couple 4x4s with some place to do chin-ups, a recliner to do crunches. A few years after I moved in, they took that down. However, there are pictures in there, they never filled in the holes where the 4x4 posts are. So there's like 6 to 8 holes that are 4x4, about 6 to 8 inches deep. A kid comes running along, gets their foot in there, breaks a leg, a dog. We have deer up there. If a deer falls in there, it'd just be nasty. Simple solution, merely suggestions. Get a couple maintenance guys, 2 bags of Quikrete, take some water up there, mix it up, pour it in the holes. Nobody's falling in there. That's it. Any questions?
I'll
No.
just respond real quick.
Uh-huh.
Ultimately, we own the property. It is our
Yeah, exactly.
responsibility. And we know that, and we are aware of the issues and concerns that you brought to us, and they are in the process of being addressed. We do have a lessee that has responsibility as well.
Mhm.
And part of our responsibility is making sure they're holding up their end of the lease. So ultimately, we own that, and,
Uh-huh.
and we will make sure that it's addressed.
Okay, so that's what I mean, just because, and you can't just blame the kids for leaving their trash there because the coaches have left those cans that you spray the lines on by the garbage. Simple theory, treat it like a beach, carry out what you carry in. So, okay, anything else? All right, thank
No,
you.
thanks. Feel free to
Hmm?
keep us posted.
Pardon?
Keep us posted if it doesn't get better.
Well, those pictures, the ones I have of where they're not cutting the field, that was taken last Sunday. They were there yesterday, and it's exactly the same. I didn't feel like getting more pictures.
Thank you.
Thank
It'll
you.
be addressed.
Would anyone else like to get up and speak to us? No? All right, then we will move on to item number 4, minutes. I'm seeking a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes from May 12th, 2025. That was a regular board meeting, and approval of the minutes from a committee of the whole meeting on June 2nd, 2025. May I have a motion to approve those minutes? I have a second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to finance. So we have a list of payments as we always do. We had the financial reports provided to us as we always receive. We have a request from administration for approval to renew the agreement with Preferred Healthcare System at a rate of $11.50 per employee enrolled in the plan. And this is really just the TPA part. This is the administrating part of our health plan. Oh, the PP, access to the PP, to the network. And then the next one is the administration of it. Administration, under D, Preferred Benefits Specialist Administrative Support Agreement, administration recommends approval of the attached Preferred Benefits Specialist Administrative Support Agreement renewal. Under E, we have administration recommends the approval of a 3-year agreement with the Beard Legal Group for solicitor services. Under F, we have administration recommends retroactive approval of the healthcare stop loss quote option 1 from Vault Strategies for the year 25-26. And under G, administration requests approval of the proposal from Mutual of Omaha for basic term life insurance and accidental death and dismemberment benefits. The annual premium for coverage is $131,521. Are we all right in a motion to approve all 5 of those, or would anybody like to split any out? Okay. I'm sorry, 7. Okay, so I'm seeking a motion to approve items 5A through G.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor of approving items 5A through G, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move to 6, and under 6, we had the first reading of several policies. Those policies were discrimination, harassment affecting students, discrimination, harassment affecting staff, a policy relative to pregnant, parenting, married students, a policy related to professional conduct and discipline procedures, a policy regarding freedom of speech by employees, and lastly, in this new world we live in, a policy on the use of generative artificial intelligence in education. Again, these are first readings. Can I have a motion to approve items 6A? Do I have a second? Anybody like to discuss any of these policies? Okay. All in favor of approving item 6A, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 7, education. Under A, administration recommends approval of the attached Learning Express preschool entry intervention in pre-K counts 25-26 calendars. Under B, administration requests approval of the comprehensive plan that has been on display on the school district's website since Monday, May 19th. Please see the attached document for more information. Under C, administration recommends the approval of an attached concussion protocol. Under D, administration recommends expulsion of a secondary student, number 852297, as outlined in the disciplinary hearing. Under E, another expulsion, administration recommends expulsion of a secondary student, number 851038, as outlined in the disciplinary hearing. Under F, we had retroactive approval of attached travel requests. Under G, agreement for school age education programs and services between the Appalachian Intermediate Unit 8 and the Altoona Area School District. It automatically renews August 1st through July 31st of 2026. The agreement will automatically renew 1 year commencing August 1st, 2026, from year to year thereafter, unless IU8 receives written notice of non-renewal on or before March 31st, immediately preceding the renewal year. Under H, administration requests retroactive approval to submit the Operation Our Town grant for the adult education program in the amount of $2,670 for the 25-26 school year. Funds will be utilized to purchase GED-ready vouchers for the GED office practice tests, provide payment for the GED exams, and provide graduation incentives. Under I, administration requests retroactive approval to submit the Operation Our Town grant for the ELECT education program in the amount of $2,887.91 for the 25-26 school year. Funds will be utilized to provide healthy foods for workshops and support fathers throughout pregnancy until the birth of the child. Under J, administration requests retroactive approval to submit the Mobile Learning Fund application to pro literacy for the adult education program in the amount of $3,250 for the 25-26 school year. K is a memorandum of understanding. Administration requests the approval of the MOU between Child Advocates of Blair County, Inc. and AASD effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. L, administration requests approval of the following letter of agreement with Impact Counseling in AASD elementary schools, costs not to exceed $100,000. Under M, administration requests approval of the following letters of agreement through Impact Counseling for a mental health therapist position and to provide outpatient drug and alcohol treatment services at AASD. Certificate of insurance has been provided. N, Administration requests approval of the agreement with Pyramid Healthcare, Soaring Heights School Agreement. Under O, administration requests approval for the Andrew M. Klein Program Audit and Analysis of the AASD Special Education Department and Program Consultation to the AASD Special Education Department. P, graduate credit reimbursement per Mark Harrington's Assistant Superintendent Contract Approval Request for Course Education 609 to be taken in the summer of 2025 for continued education. Under Q, we were provided a list of volunteers to approve. All clearances and TB tests have been received. Under R, we have the request for approval of some secondary field trips, I think related to athletics. So, seeking a motion to approve items 7A through R under education. Do I have a second? Thank you. Would anybody like to discuss any of these items?
Just the conferences, that's all fairly programmed, they pay for that, right?
Yes.
And we have, we don't have any of our people going to these conferences, or just,
We do. These are specific to the non-public. So ours had been on previously, the ones that needed approved.
okay, so it's, we do this for non-public annually, correct?
Correct. We're a pass-through for their money. So essentially their monies sit with us. It requires our approval for those items, but they do get the money generated and then we house the money for them to utilize, but it is designated for them.
Okay, and Mr. Klein, how often do we use him for special ed?
We've used him quite a bit to consult recently on matters and issues that involve students and programming. He is in the process of working with our staff on some comprehensive overhaul and looking at efficiencies within our programming, from identification to frequency of evaluation, reevaluation. He is a vital piece of our consultation piece when it comes to special education. His experience in a variety of different areas really benefits us in terms of working with families, especially when there's dispute resolution.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? All right, all in favor of approving items 7A through R, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 8. It was quite an extensive personnel agenda. Multiple items there. Not only the traditional personnel stuff, but the resetting of coaches and event workers, officials, volunteer coaches, all that stuff. I would like to mention that it was an impressive list of volunteer coaches. To have the talent we have volunteering to coach our students is pretty impressive. So seeking a motion to approve item 8A. Do I have a second? Okay, would anybody like to discuss any of these multiple requests under this tab? Okay, I would just like to say, as I said about the volunteer, it says something about the community that we had that number of people and really quality people step up to, volunteer for no pay. So it was really impressive to see. So I thank all of them and all the people who do all these other, obviously, things for, I think if you match the time spent up to the pay, it wouldn't pay very much. So thanks to all our coaches and the people who not volunteer, but get paid to work at these events. In favor of approving item 8A, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Under 9, we'll move on to student services. Under A, administration recommends approval of the attached agreement with Presley Ridge Ridge will be providing educational placement for a foster student enrolled in the Altoona Area School District for the 25 and 26 school year. And under B, administration requests approval of the attached supplemental staffing agreement with Interim Healthcare of Pittsburgh, doing business as Interim Healthcare of Altoona. The agreement will cover the 25 and 26 school year. Looking for a motion to approve items 9A and B. Do I have a second? Would anybody like to discuss?
Yeah,
any of
the
these?
healthcare staffing, do we use that a lot?
No, so I was gonna chime in. In the event of an absolute emergency, like where we needed nursing care or whatnot, and we cannot get someone else or cover within, we need to have an agreement with interim in the event that we absolutely have to have a substitute essentially, but no, we do not use them.
I didn't think so. Good, thanks.
Yep.
Okay, anybody else? All right, all in favor of approving items 9A and B, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We will move on to business operations. Under A, we have the Amtran contract. Administration requests and recommends approval of the 2025-2026 contract with Amtran for student transportation services. B, administration recommends approval for payment obligations for the month of June, July, and August 2025. Under C, there was a list of repository bids that were rejected by the city of Altoona. Under D, a list of repository bids for approval. Under E, administration recommends approval of capital reserve list of payments, which were at our disposal. And under F, administration requests and recommends approval to accept a proposal from Bulger Brothers to replace the existing fuel pumps at the bus garage. Estimated cost not to exceed $36,000 to include 2 new dispensing pumps, installation, and connection to the interior reporting system. Payment to be made from the capital reserve fund. Procurement will be made using a sole source emergency clause due to the condition of the existing pumps. So I'm looking for a motion to approve items 10A through F. Do I have a second? We have a second. Would anybody like to discuss any of these items? Okay, all in favor of approving items 10A through F, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to new business. Administration, under A, administration recommends approval of the AFSCME Special Education Aid Collective Bargaining Agreement for August 15th, 2025 through August 14th, 2028. Under B, administration recommends approval of the central office administration staff compensation plan and salary schedule for July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2029. Under C, administration recommends approval of the Act 93 professional middle management compensation plan and salary schedule for July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2029. Under D, the Altoona Area School District Athletic Office is requesting approval for under number 1, the American Legion to use Mansion Park baseball field from June 1st through August 31st, 2025 for the purpose of home baseball games. Under 2, the Keystone Girls Softball League to use Columbia softball field from June through August 2025 for the purposes of practices, games, and tournaments. And under 3, the Keystone Girls Softball League to use Logan Elementary softball field from June through August 2025 for the purposes of practices, games, and tournaments. Certificates of insurance have been provided, and the rental agreements were provided to us. I think all at no charge. Under E, the Altoona Area School District Athletic Office is requesting approval for under one, Altoona Elementary Wrestling to use the Altoona Area High School Wrestling Room from Monday, July 21st through Wednesday, July 23rd, from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. for the purpose of an elementary wrestling camp. The agreement is attached. Certificate of insurance has been provided. And under two, Columbia Park Field for the Dalton Dobbins Sunday Afternoon League from June through August 2025 for the games. The agreement is attached. Rental is contingent upon receiving certificate of insurance. Okay. And I think all of those were no charge, right? Even the Dalton Dobbins one. Yeah. Just give it back to the community. So seeking a motion to approve items 11A through E. Do I have a second? Okay. Would anybody like to discuss any of these items? All right. All in favor of approving
I'm going
item?
to abstain from item C,
Okay,
family member conflict of interest.
okay. Um, all in favor of approving items 11A through E with Stephanie's abstention from C, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. To 12, do any of our committee chairs have a report?
Just real quick, Central Blair Golf Tournament is July 28th at Sinking Valley. Anybody that wants to play, please contact the office. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Board President's report, I have none. Mr. Hatch, do you have a report?
I do not at this time. Would just like to add, though, I appreciate the board's approval of the special education aid collective bargaining agreement. Just want to put it out there to the public that we have made significant increases to the rates for our special education aids and as well as the compensation plans. So I'd encourage anyone out there that would like to work with very needy students and students that really benefit from the help of the special education aids. They really are an important integral part of our community here at the school district. I would encourage anyone to submit an application. That's an ongoing application process. We typically interview every Friday, right, Michelle? I think for special education aids. But once again, a very, very worthwhile, very needed occupation. So if there's anyone out there, we have the new contract is very attractive to those folks, and we'd encourage you to apply. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. Moving on to 13 for information only, we have a pretty extensive list of instructors who have completed 3 years of satisfactory service, 6 ratings, and are entitled to tenure effective the last day of the 24-25 school year. And then for information only, a pretty extensive list of payment of college credits for information only. Under 14, do we have an employee unions response? I don't see anyone. Anyone from middle management? No. Mr. Solicitor.
Thanks to the board for reappointment on a three-year commitment. San Francis School Law Symposium is this Wednesday. I will be presenting. They moved it out to Cranberry. Whatever presentation that I provide will be passed on to Mr. Hatch to share with other administrators. And then within the next week or so, we'll probably put out another educational law report, one addressing the settlement or consent that was agreed to up at State College School District and the implications to school districts, across Pennsylvania, because a lot of people are coming forward asking a lot of questions. And then also the issues that we see with social media, just updating that educational law report, encouraging school administrators to adjust their student code of conduct to address the federal bill, take it down, and then, of course, changes that were made to the crimes code here in Pennsylvania back in December that now has significant penalties for either adults or students that actually apply the Nudify app or otherwise portray people and then undress them and put it out there. It could have significant ramifications for students, not only applying to college scholarships, not getting into the military, and I believe that they need to be clearly aware of the, implications for engaging in that type of conduct in the school setting, especially for the upcoming school year. And that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Beard. I will make a motion to adjourn this meeting. Will anybody give me a second? All in favor of adjourning the meeting, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? No. Meeting is adjourned.